Picking benefits during open enrollment is actually very simple until it's not. In the Bolden home, this year picking benefits is going to be a little bit different than it has been in years past. For us, we're selling our old home, we're moving into a new home, and we're preparing for a new baby, which will be here in January. We're also trying to manage our budget and plan in the midst of keeping everything together with all these financial changes that are happening. In past years, open enrollment was essentially mindless. This year, we're sort of forced to slow down and be a little bit more diligent about what we pick, why we pick it, and what will happen because of our decision. So big life choices typically means there are going to be some big changes that happen for your benefits and how you choose your benefits. So in this video, I want to talk about how me and my wife are going through choosing benefits this year and what that will look like for our household. So I want to start with the health plan options that we have. Typically the two options that you may have are some type of high deductible plan, which is called an HDHP, or some type of PPO plan. So typically high deductible plans offer you lower premiums on a monthly basis or bi-weekly basis whenever you get paid, and higher upfront costs. They also give you the ability to save into what's called an HSA, or health savings account. These type of plans are great if it's just you and you don't frequent the doctor very often. This is a great plan because you can keep your premiums low and actually have some type of savings element that you can put money into on a bi-weekly or weekly basis. If you're like me, who just goes to the doctor once a year, if that, my wife is always on me about that. But if you're just doing preventive care type stuff every single year, this might be the plan for you. Although I've had that type plan in the past, this year, that type plan doesn't work for me and my family. The other option, which is a PPO, is probably going to make more sense. So considering the baby, we will be frequenting the doctor a lot more this year. My wife is going every 4 weeks, and as we get closer to the due date, that could be even more frequent than it is now. And even having these routine doctor visits on the schedule, there are things that pop up that could be totally unexpected. For example, Corey had some complications early on in the pregnancy where this was totally out of the blue. So having the right health plan and talking through some of the different scenarios that could potentially happen can help you to actually be proactive about the situation and avoid any surprises. Next, we want to consider the budget and the expenses that come from having a baby. The reality is that babies bring a lot of joy, but they bring a lot of bills too. So for us, most of our pregnancy happened over the course of 2024, but our delivery isn't going to happen until 2025. So for 2024, we had already met the deductibles and out-of-pocket expenses that would have been required for 2024. But because our baby isn't coming until 2025, all of these deductibles and out-of-pocket expenses are going to be reset. So that means that our family will have to prepare for that. Corey and I had joked that we would be totally fine if the baby decided to come a little bit early in 2024, because that would save us a little bit of money. However, whenever the baby decides to come, we at least have talked about it so that we aren't caught off guard and we can give ourselves time to save and do the necessary things to make sure that we're okay. So just a quick tip for you: if you can, estimate all of your costs as early as you possibly can. From getting a doula, to midwives, to prenatal care, delivery, pediatric services, all of these things cost. And if you are intentionally growing your family, these are the things that you'll want to discuss to make sure that you have a plan going forward. Another aspect that Corey and I will look at when it comes to choosing our benefits is how we approach retirement contributions. So balancing baby costs and saving isn't easy, but we're trying to keep more so of a long-term focus. So for us and how we did things over the course of 2024, that we at least got the very minimum, which means that we both contributed at least the match amount for both of our companies. Now for you, this may be different. Some of you guys may have 3%, some of you may have 5%, some of you guys may not have anything at all. But if you do have a match, take advantage of this because it's free money, and I'm never going to tell you not to take advantage of getting free money. Growing your family can be expensive, so if you need to, adjust your contributions gradually. What I mean by that is you can reduce your contributions temporarily if you need to. But if you can help it, don't stop your contributions completely. Do what works best for you and your family. If you have to stop it, that's fine. If you have to adjust it, that's totally fine. But always make sure that you revisit this even throughout the year and after the baby is here, so that when things settle down, when the budget is more settled, you guys can start making those contributions again. Now, this is certainly one to pay attention to, because big changes like this can tempt you to pause all of your retirement contributions and savings. But instead, use this time to make a balanced decision around what's going to work for you and your growing family. Keep in mind, as you're making these decisions, it's all for planning for right now and what you want to do right now, and being able to adjust later. So health needs change, and so will your coverage needs in the future. So use this time and be diligent about this time. Open enrollment isn't just a time to rush through and pick all the things that's familiar, but it's actually a time for you to consider your current goals, future goals, new benefits that may have been added to your plan that wasn't there before, or other benefits that have been removed that are no longer available. You want to take a holistic approach to make sure that you're considering everything so that you can optimize everything that you have. So what worked for this year might not work for next year. Take this time to have intentional conversations with your spouse. If kids are going to be in the picture soon, then make sure that you're planning around that and including that decision in how you pick your benefits. Now keep this in mind as well. Planning ahead doesn't always mean that things will go as expected. However, it does give you a solid foundation that you can adapt to when things do change. If you do take the right approach and be diligent about how you pursue these decisions, you can be confident that you and your family are in position to have your needs met. If you're watching this and you feel stuck or just need a second opinion about all the options that you do have, we'd love to help you out in that situation. At Bolden Wealth Management, we know that these things can seem very complicated, but we try our best to make them very simple. Feel free to book a complimentary call with us to discuss all of your plan options. And hopefully by doing that, we can take some of the stress out of these decisions by going through your enrollment together. So if you like this video, don't forget to like it, share it with someone that you think it's beneficial for, and subscribe so you can catch even more in the future. I'll see you guys next time.